Seductive?
I don't know. Do you think so, Larry?
So, Lady Colin Campbell, you have been very much one of the people first in the world to be all over the so-called moon bump theory when it comes to Meghan Markle. But now, Milo Yiannopoulos, the American right-wing firebrand, is joining the party. And, Lady C, you've got a prop today.
Oh, my God. Dan, you looked at me and got me pregnant. Dan, I told you, put on your dark glasses and protect me against having to pregnant. And for a naughty boy, you took off your dark glasses in the middle of looking at me.
Well, Lady C, that leads on quite nicely to what I wanted to speak to you about first, actually, because the way that Meghan Markle was looking at Larry King, by this point, by the way, an octogenarian, he had left CNN and he was working for quite a bit part TV channel, but he was rich, Lady C, and he was close to death. So the way that Meghan Markle was quite obviously flirting with him in this unearthed interview has gone viral because a lot of people are talking about what it showed she was looking for just before she met Prince Harry. I wonder if you agree, Lady C, but let's take a look at this first. Here's a reminder of what happened.
Who Meghan is Rachel?
Rachel is the paralegal at the firm.
Seductive?
I don't know. Do you think so, Larry? I don't know. Do you think so, Larry?
I mean, she knows what she was doing, right? And that was on camera. Imagine what she was like off camera.
I don't need to imagine, Dan. I've been told.
Tell me.
I've been told she's fearsome. Fearsome. And that she's fearsomely good in the sack.
And she was trying to make that point to Mr. King, who at that point was, I guess, in his
I think
80s.
the point that she made repeatedly as she was climbing the ladder vertically and making sure that everybody knew that she also had horizontal dimensions as attributes. So she was extremely seductive. And I gather that it wasn't just, shall we say, illusory. The promise was fulfilled. She knew what she was doing, and she did it very well. Good luck to her, and good for her,
Yeah, Lady C. So this is what Milo Yiannopoulos posted, and it's got the world talking, Lady C, because for people who don't know, Milo Yiannopoulos, a very controversial American political figure, but he's been right first on a load of stuff that the mainstream media have avoided. So he posted, Lady C, I spent a weekend on this, and I am convinced, A, they've used multiple different children in the photo because he was originally sparked by that picture that Meghan Markle posted of Prince Harry on Father's Day. You know, the one where their heads are sort of covered again and there's a whole load of AI Photoshop manipulation used with the picture, which we discussed earlier in the week here. And he says, B, at least one pregnancy was via surrogate, making the child ineligible for the line of succession. C, she wore a moon bump or other fake pregnancy tummy. Now, obviously, Lady C, we have discussed these so-called theories in detail in the past, and we have also discussed the lengths that we went to try and get Buckingham Palace to cooperate so that we were able to try and pursue this potentially massive seismic scandal, which is still being sort of, allowed to go on, and we failed to do so.
Absolutely, you're right. The situation is still unresolved. And
yeah, unresolved, that's the word. So what's interesting to me, Lady C, is that Milo Yiannopoulos, not someone that we talk a lot about on the Royal After Show, but certainly a major figure in US political circles. Do you think him weighing in so publicly on this on Elon Musk's X, where he has a very engaged political following in the US, will make any difference? Or the mainstream media continue to ignore it, so actually the palace can just keep on ignoring it too? If you want more hard-hitting Harry and Meghan coverage like this with the double standards called out, hit subscribe right now and turn on the notifications. Dan Wootton Outspoken has no spin, no bias, and no censorship.
Dan, I honestly don't see that it can make much of a difference, because the palace and the mainstream media and you and I are all constrained by certain legal, shall we say, hurdles that we'd have to jump over. This is not America. In America, you can make an accusation, and if somebody sues you for making the accusation and you depose them in a deposition, you can go on a massive fishing exercise, and then you can get the proof of the fact that they are lying. That can't happen in England or Scotland. English common law requires that you have to prove your accusation. The other party doesn't have to prove anything. You have to prove everything, and you have to do it within the law. Now, the law does not allow you in this country to take DNA samples of anybody without their consent, or, of course, if they are minors, without the consent of their guardians legally, which would usually be their legal parents. Also, the government is not allowed to act unlawfully. Of course, we all know all governments do act unlawfully, but they're not allowed to do it and to do it overtly. And in this instance, it would have to be done overtly. Similarly, the royal family is constrained by the law. Harry managed to get Archie's birth certificate as a result of the claiming that Archie was born at Portland Hospital to a woman who was identified at the time of the birth as the Duchess of Sussex, but was not Meghan, was not Rachel Meghan, Her Royal Highness the Duchess of Sussex, because had it been Rachel Meghan, Her Royal Highness the Duchess of Sussex, they wouldn't have needed to amend the birth certificate to eliminate Meghan as the possibility of the woman who gave birth to the baby. So there's all of that. These are all legal realities that the palace can't work its way around. You can't work your way around. I can't work my way around. The mainstream media can't work its way around. Mr. whatever his name is in America, maybe he can work his way around, because in America, the laws are different. And he can say anything he wants, can't he? And ultimately, it's up to Harry and Meghan to sue. And if they sue, and it's in America, then they're going to have to, for instance, explain why it is that they lied about the time of the birth of the child. Why is it they said that, why is it that Harry informed the registrar that the woman who gave birth to the child was Rachel Meghan, Her Royal Highness the Duchess of Sussex, but obviously the woman who gave birth was only identified at the hospital as Her Royal Highness the Duchess of Sussex, and they had to remove the distinguishing features of Rachel Meghan. So we can provide the evidence of all the irregularities that have taken place, and we are safe to do so legally. But we can't go beyond that. If in America they choose to go beyond that, Harry and Meghan then have a choice. They sue, in which case they can be deposed and would be deposed, and then they have to explain away all of the anomalies that exist. And let's not forget the anomalies go before the birth of the child. The anomalies go with the deep dive that Archie did at Birkenhead between Meghan's knees on January the 14th, and Meghan's claims to be suicidal on January the 16th at the Cirque du Soleil, and that Meghan said that she was crumpled up in a ball and was suicidal, and Harry had to get her, blah, blah, blah. But she was fully professionally made up for the Cirque du Soleil, and she was at Mayhew that day. So again, her story doesn't match. These are all hurdles that they would have to jump over. And as Blake Lively has shown in the Justin Baldoni case, you can say any damn thing you want, but ultimately it comes back to bite you when you are deposed, and you have the reality beside your false claims. So does that explain
It does, and it's very interesting, Lady C. Thank you for that explanation. It was also fascinating this week, Lady C, and I'm not directly linking this in any way to Milo Yiannopoulos' post. It's more, I think, to do with the disastrous situation that was never finds itself in. But Meghan Markle is now finally...
Dan, sorry, that I love that we both say was never.
Well, I stole it from you, and I hold my hands up, but it's just too good.
Darling, I gave it to you. It's our love child.
Well, I will take it, and I will love it, Lady C. But really, she's finally acknowledging that she has made big mistakes, which is interesting to me. She believes that a new PR team is going to be able to solve it. Well, that's delusional because, of course, she's had about 11 PR teams. But I do want to take you through this exclusive reporting from the Daily Express here in the UK because I think it's interesting. So she's hiring this new team of PRs in a bid to win over the British public. That is, of course, because of the fact that she is returning. But an insider close to the couple, and we do realise at the moment, Lady C, people close to these two are singing like canaries, revealed that they see the visit as a make or break chance for Harry to try and reconcile with King Charles and Prince William. And they have brought in a team made up of celebrity and crisis PRs who have worked with infamous names in a bid to rebuild Meghan's image with the British public. The source said Meghan knows that she in particular will have to eat humble pie if she wants any chance of winning Harry's family and the public over, and she is ready to admit she needs the help. She's been instructed that she is back in the UK as Prince Harry's wife and should only have a background role. This is her time to show people she is capable of not playing up to the cameras. Meghan has taken it all on board and is very keen to show the British public she is not the enemy. She and Harry deeply regret speaking about the royals on TV and would love a second chance. The insider added Meghan realised she's been given bad advice from her PRs for a while and it has hurt her reputation. They were trying to make her the next Diana and to give her a sickly sweet image which came across as insincere. Meghan has realised this was a mistake and wants to make sure this visit goes right for Harry's sake. The team is on the case and working hard to develop an action plan to win her back. The public's favour a lot is resting on this. Now, look, Lady C, I obviously think she's totally delusional to think any new PR team can change anything because, of course, a PR team is still only working with a particular celebrity or a particular public figure, and she's had about 11 of these teams. However, Lady C, a couple of interesting things in there.
Just when it seemed the debate surrounding Meghan Markle couldn't become any more controversial, another wave of speculation has erupted online. An old interview has resurfaced. Political commentator Milo Yiannopoulos has reignited long-running claims surrounding the Sussex family, and reports suggest Meghan may be preparing yet another major public relations reset. Whether these developments amount to anything substantial remains to be seen, but together they have reignited conversations that have never fully disappeared. Today we'll break down the latest claims, examine what can actually be verified, and explore why the royal family continues to find itself caught in the middle of a media storm that simply refuses to die. Let's begin. One of the biggest talking points this week came from a resurfaced interview featuring Meghan Markle before she married Prince Harry. In the clip, Meghan appears alongside legendary television host Larry King while promoting the legal drama Suits. During a lighthearted exchange, King asks whether her character, Rachel Zane, is seductive. Meghan laughs before responding, "I don't know, do you think so, Larry?" while maintaining prolonged eye contact. The moment itself is relatively brief, but social media users have interpreted it in dramatically different ways. Some viewers see nothing more than playful television banter. Others argue it demonstrates Meghan's confidence and ability to charm influential figures. As often happens with viral clips, the interpretation says as much about the audience as it does about the footage itself. The conversation intensified after Milo Yiannopoulos posted a lengthy thread on X discussing long-standing internet theories surrounding the Sussex children and Meghan's pregnancies. Among his claims were allegations that multiple children may have appeared in official photographs, suggestions that at least one child was born by a surrogate, and renewed references to the so-called MOONBUMP theory. It is important to note that these claims remain unproven. Neither Buckingham Palace nor the Duke and Duchess of Sussex have publicly confirmed any of these allegations, and there is no verified evidence establishing them as fact. Nevertheless, discussions surrounding these topics continue across social media, YouTube, and online forums. Why hasn't the issue been resolved? One explanation frequently offered involves the significant differences between American and British defamation law. In the United States, public figures often face a much higher legal threshold when bringing defamation actions. British law operates differently. Generally speaking, anyone making a serious allegation is expected to possess sufficient evidence before publishing it. That legal reality helps explain why many British commentators discuss inconsistencies they believe exist, while stopping short of making definitive accusations. Without documentary proof or direct evidence, media organizations risk substantial legal consequences if they overstep those boundaries. For critics of the Sussexes, however, the unanswered questions continue to fuel speculation. Supporters argue there is nothing unusual about protecting family privacy. Critics respond that public confusion has largely resulted from inconsistent messaging over several years. Whichever perspective someone holds, the issue has remained remarkably persistent. Away from those debates, another development has attracted attention. Reports in the British press suggest Meghan has hired a new public relations team as part of an effort to rebuild her image ahead of a possible return to Britain alongside Prince Harry. According to unnamed sources quoted in several newspapers, the strategy involves presenting Meghan in a more restrained role while allowing Harry to take center stage during any family reconciliation efforts. The reports also claim Meghan recognizes mistakes were made in previous media strategies and hopes a fresh approach can improve public opinion. Whether those anonymous briefings accurately reflect reality is impossible to verify. Public relations campaigns frequently rely on unattributed sources, making independent confirmation difficult. Even if the reports are accurate, they raise an interesting question. Can public relations alone repair a damaged reputation? History suggests that sustained public trust is rarely restored through messaging alone. People tend to judge public figures by long-term actions rather than carefully crafted statements. Image consultants can influence presentation, but they cannot rewrite history. Ultimately, audiences decide whether they believe genuine change has occurred. The Sussexes have already worked with numerous communications advisors over the years. Each new strategy has promised a reset. Some focused on humanitarian work. Others emphasized business ventures, podcasts, documentaries, or lifestyle branding. Despite these shifts, polling in both Britain and the United States has often remained divided. That illustrates an important point. Public perception develops over years, not weeks. The discussion also extends beyond Harry and Meghan. Fresh polling has indicated that support for the British monarchy has declined compared with previous decades. While a majority of Britons continue to support retaining the monarchy, younger generations appear significantly less enthusiastic than older voters. There are many possible reasons: changing social values, declining institutional trust, generational differences, the impact of social media, the highly publicized disputes involving Prince Harry and Meghan, the fallout surrounding Prince Andrew, and broader questions about the future role of constitutional monarchies in modern democracies. It's unlikely any single factor explains the entire trend. Despite these concerns, polling also consistently shows that Prince William enjoys considerably stronger approval ratings than many other senior royals. Some analysts believe his eventual accession could stabilize public confidence. Others argue that deeper cultural changes affecting younger generations present a longer-term challenge that extends far beyond any individual royal. Only time will tell which prediction proves correct. One fascinating reminder emerged from a recent debate at the Oxford Union. The motion proposed that the monarchy effectively died with Queen Elizabeth II. Despite expectations that the proposition would succeed among students, the motion reportedly failed after debate participants focused heavily on historical evidence and constitutional arguments. While one university debate cannot predict national opinion, it demonstrates that public attitudes remain far more nuanced than online discussions sometimes suggest. Social media often rewards certainty. Reality is usually much more complicated. The internet encourages dramatic headlines, viral theories, and emotionally charged reactions. Facts tend to move more slowly. As consumers of news, it's worth distinguishing between verified information, informed opinion, speculation, and outright rumor. Those categories frequently become blurred online. For the royal family, the continuing Sussex saga presents an ongoing communications dilemma. Responding publicly risks giving additional attention to allegations. Remaining silent allows speculation to continue. Neither option is entirely satisfying. That balancing act has characterized much of the relationship between Buckingham Palace and the Sussexes since their departure from royal duties. Whether Meghan's latest reported public relations strategy succeeds remains uncertain. Whether renewed speculation surrounding old controversies ultimately changes public opinion is equally unclear. What is certain is that interest in Harry and Meghan remains remarkably high years after they stepped away from royal life. Every interview, every photograph, every media report, and every social media post continues to generate intense scrutiny. That level of attention ensures the conversation is unlikely to disappear anytime soon. What do you think? Can Meghan successfully rebuild her public image after years of controversy? Will the royal family eventually address the questions that continue circulating online, or is silence still the best strategy? Share your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoyed this breakdown, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you never miss future discussions covering the latest royal news and media analysis. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.